Welcome back to Animal Hospital Twin. Today, we are ranking every single starter class in the game. The new game update just dropped a ton of buffs to almost every single class in the game. But unlocking these characters requires animal coins, which is a massive problem, especially if you are just a bacon with almost no cash. So yeah, figuring out which class is worth the money and which is a hard pass is a must. Let me lend you a hand. In this video, I will reveal which class among the beginner classes is actually worth unlocking. I'll be keeping it under 250 coins, the amount you can easily grab in just 2 to 3 matches. From there, I'll filter out the cheap noob bait and pick somewhat decent to straight up OP classes that will make y'all immortal. Okay, but which classes are they actually? Well, watch until the very end to find out. Let's start with the first option that literally everyone has access to when they first load into the game, which is the Intern class. And to be honest, this is not a bad start, especially when you compared it to some latter option. First thing first, the best thing about the Intern is that it is 100% free. You do not need to spend a single animal coin to unlock it. You just select it in the menu and you are ready to walk right into the clinic. If we look at the basic stats, the Intern actually starts with a really nice sanity buffer. When you equip this class at level 1, you get a 10% bonus to your starting sanity. This means you begin your shift with 71% sanity instead of the default 61% that other classes get. Once you grind the Intern up to level 2, that starting number goes up to 76%. And if you manage to reach level 3, you will start your rounds with a massive 81% sanity. On the downside, the Intern does not come with any starter items in their pockets, 0 starter cash, and absolutely no active abilities. You are basically entering the building with empty hands. Since you do not have any cool gadgets or special powers as an Intern, you have to play smart and cooperate with your team. First, because you have a huge sanity buffer, you do not need to consume sanity items early on, so just let your teammates take the first sip of coffee. Second, since you do not have any actual abilities, you should fill in the blank role of the team you are on. This makes you the ultimate flexible teammate because you do not have a locked-in job. If your teammate is a secretary and is taking care of the check-in already, you should take care of the patient ward. If they are a surgeon or a head nurse, then you do the opposite. Head toward the check-in room and take care of the incoming guests. This flexibility is a massive W play for your team because you can always balance out whatever is missing in the hospital lobby. When it comes to the final tier list, the Intern goes straight into the exact middle at C tier. It is a very average class. It does not give you any crazy overpowered abilities, but it also costs you absolutely nothing, making it a safe, reliable option for any beginner who is still learning how the map works. Now, if you have saved up just a tiny bit of pocket change, say about 50 animal coins, you can upgrade to the nurse class. You can easily get this amount of coins by completing about 3 or 4 successful shifts in a single game. Looking at the stats, the nurse starts with 65% sanity, which is slightly better than the default baseline of 60% but lower than the Intern. The real strength of the nurse lies in her passive ability. At level 1, you start the game with +1 inventory capacity. This means you can hold 4 items instead of the default 3. If you upgrade the nurse to level 2, you get +2 inventory slots. At level 3, you get a massive +3 inventory slots, giving you a total of 6 spaces to carry items. Just like the Intern, you do not get any starter cash with this class. Having extra inventory space is a nice little convenience, but honestly, it is not a big deal at all. The only reason you would even care about this perk is that you can treat multiple patients at once. Because of this utility, the nurse makes a decent starter class if you want to focus strictly on treating patients. However, you absolutely need to upgrade this class to level 3 to get that third extra space and unlock its full potential, since carrying 3 medicines for 1 treatment will completely fill up a normal inventory. But even if you reach level 3 and get those extra slots, you need to understand that this perk isn't that helpful. These extra inventory spaces do absolutely nothing to help you stay alive during a chaotic shift. If an anomaly starts chasing you, you have no defensive options and no sanity regeneration. And during the shift, you can still cure multiple patients even without a nurse's ability. You just have to run back and forth a couple more times, which takes a few seconds at best. The benefit is simply too minor and is almost completely useless for actual survival. Because of this, the nurse lands straight into C tier. The inventory perk is okay for carrying extra medicine, but it does not do enough to justify ranking it any higher. Moving up the ladder, we need to talk about the Desk Master, which is the secretary class. This class costs 120 animal coins. To save up for this, you will need to complete about 10 shifts, which usually takes around 1 full game if you have already get used to the game. The secretary starts with 60% sanity, which is on the lower end of the spectrum, but her active ability is where things get really interesting. At level 1, you recover 1 sanity point every single time you successfully check in a patient at the front desk. At level 2, you recover even more sanity per check-in, and you get a flat +5 bonus to your starting sanity. By the time you upgrade her to level 3, you will get a +10 starting sanity bonus along with the check-in recovery. No starter cash is provided. This class is designed for players who want to be the brain of the team. While the other classes are running around the back rooms taking care of the patients, the secretary stays at the front desk and makes sure no anomalies can trespass, or at least trespass without warning for the rest of the team. To run the front desk like a real pro, your first step is, well, take the reception desk. Second step is to carefully screen every single patient. When an animal walks through the front doors, do not just blindly stamp their paperwork. Look at them closely to see if their face is twitching or if they are moving in a weird, glitchy way. Anomalies love to disguise themselves as regular patients to sneak into the hospital, so if you spot anything suspicious, deny their entry immediately. Like if a cat walks in but its head is spinning like a helicopter propeller, that is definitely not a cat. The third step is to constantly watch the photos and the cameras, and remember to do it in that exact order. These anomalies can change their appearance after you take the photo, so always take the photo before checking the camera. By the way, while doing this, you can also get a deployable camera from the hospital shop to ease yourself. The fourth step is to keep the sanity loop going. Every single time you stamp a patient's paperwork and admit them into the hospital, real or fake, your sanity meter goes up. This passive recovery is incredibly strong because while other players have to rely on coffee or chocolate, you can stay at almost the same level of sanity the entire round just by doing your job at the desk. Literally infinite sanity, aka immortal trick right there if you ask me. Because of this amazing sanity loop, the secretary easily takes the top spot of the B tier classes. The ability to recover sanity passively without relying on items is incredibly strong. If you play this class correctly, you can keep your mind perfectly clear through the entire night, making you almost completely immune to the random sanity events that plague other players. It is an absolute must-have for anyone who wants to play a front desk role. Finally, we have the most expensive class on this beginner list, which is the Paramedic. This class costs 250 animal coins, and you will need to complete about 20 shifts to buy this, which means grinding through at least 2 full games without spending any money. The Paramedic starts with 60% sanity, and the unique feature of this class is that you start the round with the large run cola. At level 1, your cola has 6 uses. At level 2, it has 9 uses. When you upgrade to level 3, the cola still has 9 uses, but it will also regenerate 1 use at the start of every single round. The large run cola is a speed item that increases your movement speed significantly for a short period of time. On paper, this sounds like an OP speed class that will let you sprint down the hallways like a pro, but in reality, this class has some very disappointing issues. The starting levels can be difficult as you do not have a regenerating large run cola. You can use the cola a handful of times, but when it is gone, it is gone. You have to wait until you reach level 3 for it to start regenerating between rounds, which makes it a more effective class to help bounce between patients, but even with all of that, the Paramedic is still not a standout option. The cola only changes your movement speed, and it does not speed up your actual patient interactions, which means it does not matter much in terms of actual gameplay, other than some extremely rare cases with multiple critical patients. Because of these heavy limitations, the Paramedic goes straight into the F tier. It is a complete trap for new players. You spend a massive amount of your hard-earned animal coins expecting an OP speed class, but you end up with a regular character who just has a temporary speed boost that does not actually help you survive or heal patients any faster. Looking back at all these cheap options, the secretary is the clear winner here, sitting proudly at the top of B tier because of her amazing sanity management. The intern and the nurse are decent, middle-of-the-road options at C tier that will help you learn the game without costing you too much. And the Paramedic is an absolute skip at F tier, but that is just my opinion. What do you think about these rankings? Do you agree with the secretary being the best cheap class, or do you prefer the extra pockets of the nurse? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Our shift for today is officially over, and I will see you all in the next video.